Why did I just make you watch me play 3 of my app games? Well, the data that we got out of them illustrates a classification of a type of variable that we're going to deal with in statistics. Matter of fact, it deals with 2 different classifications. Back up. Generally speaking, we deal with numbers in this class. Generally speaking. Sometimes we can also do some statistics on non-numerical data. Let's just talk about that now. We call that qualitative. Okay, qualitative data. If you're in the social sciences, you deal with this a lot. This would be something like your breaking. I'll give you an example of what my family does every year. We do the Deschutes fish rescue, which is what happens when they close the dams off in the fall. Parts of the Deschutes River dry up due to lack of flow, and then we have to move fish from the parts that dry up into the parts that still have running water in them because otherwise they die. We track the fish that we move, and the types we get are they're like rainbow trout, kokanee, brown trout, sculpin, and mountain whitefish. Those are the 5 main types. There's also some other stuff mixed in too, but those are the 5 main types of fish. Well, those variables, what type of fish, if I ask you what type of fish is it, you're going to name one of those things, a rainbow trout, a brown trout, a whitefish. Those aren't numbers, those are words. That's an example of qualitative data. Qualitative data. Not much you can do with that other than count them, really. But they are important. That kind of data is important depending on the application. Okay, that's qualitative data. Quantitative data is way more applicable in a lot of cases, but also you can do a lot more with it, which we're going to see starting next week. Of the data we collected, we played Wordle first. Okay, Wordle, if I remember correctly, I got Wordle in 4 tries. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 tries. Okay, that's a number, 4. When I played Global, I got Global in 6. I got Global in 6, okay? Also a number, 6 tries. New York Times Mini, I got in 1 minute and 7 seconds. Also a number, 1 minute, 7 seconds, or 67 seconds. The difference between 2 of those and the third is how you get the number. For Wordle and Global, you count. I started on the first line, then I went to the next line, jumped from 1 to 2. Then I jumped from 2 to 3, then I jumped from 3 to 4. Same exact thing happened in Global. I started with Italy, that's 1 country. Then I jumped to Spain, that's a 2nd country. Then I jumped to France, that's a 3rd country. Then I jumped to, I think I went to Tunisia or Morocco. I'm drawing a blank now on where I was. You're jumping by ones each time. Those types of quantitative data are called discrete. They jump by 1, or they jump by some fixed amount, usually 1. You jump 1 at a time. So discrete data is data that you count. Now, the third measurement that we got is my New York Times Mini score, my 1 minute and 6 seconds. Now, you might think you count that too, right? Because if you think about a clock, here's one right here. Okay, when you watch this clock go, I don't know if you can hear it. It's clicking. Oh, my light just came on. Sorry about that. Hopefully it goes off. You hear that clock ticking from each second. But there are time increments within those seconds. Milliseconds, for example, or hundredths of seconds, or tenths of seconds. The clocks tend to click second at a time. But time is a continuum. So time is not counted. Time is measured. So the big difference between data, quantitative data can be broken into 2 different types. Discrete quantitative data is counted in whole number pieces, discretely. That's what it means, discrete pieces. Continuous quantitative data is measured. And as best as I can tell, there are only 4 types of classifications, if you will, of continuous data. One of them is time. We just saw that. Time is one. Temperature is another one. Temperature is a sliding scale. I know that when we talk about temperatures, we often say it's 36 degrees out. But you don't jump from 36 to 37. You slide from 36 to 37 continuously. Length, measuring something. Whenever somebody asks me how tall I am, I say 5'11" or 5'11 and a half, because that's the tallest I ever was. 5'11 and a half. I think I'm shorter now. But I'm not exactly 5'11". I'm not exactly 5'11 and a half. I'm not exactly anything. My height is changing, first of all, and also that measurement is continuous. I don't jump from 5'11 to 6 or 5'11 to 5'10. So what did I just say? I said time, temperature, length, and weight. Those 4 things are measured. If you have to measure a quantity, it's continuous. If you count the quantity, it's discrete. And that's the big takeaway. And those, like I said, are the quantitative data variables. Qualitative, as I mentioned before, those things don't have numbers. They're just named, and you count those too. But you can't do anything else with them other than count them. With quantitative data, we can do more with it, and we're going to start into that a whole lot next week. But I got one more thing to talk about on this first day. Let's get to it.